Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Podcast, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some stocks on the move today in Europe. I'm Jack Sidders with Caroline Hepker. We're joined by Bloomberg's equities reporter, Joe Easton. Advertising for a new role. The top job at WPP is up for grabs. Has it moved the share price, Joe?
Yes, so it has indeed. So the biggest advertising company, or one of them at least in the world, WPP, has announced that Mark Reed is going to retire only at 58. Not a bad age to retire. So he is standing down now. This is kind of bringing more uncertainty to a company that is trying to turn itself around, really, after a couple of years of declining sales, and it has consistently given pretty gloomy outlooks. This is partly driven by the rise of AI and a lot of concern that some of the advertising world will be automated, and also technology companies just pulling back more generally in their spending budgets on advertising over the past couple of years, particularly the big firms in the US. So the company's stock price, getting back to your original question, Jack, is down 2.3% today, so a bit of uncertainty coming into the shares, continuing a bad run for the stock, which is actually down 34% already this year.
Well, the problem is a distant memory since WPP was the biggest ad agency globally, or indeed the ad agencies were kind of totally cutting edge. Now it's about artificial
maybe
intelligence.
I'm stuck in the past and I can always consider it the biggest, but I think probably it's overtaken by Omnicom and Publicis and companies like that in the past few years.
And it's how you integrate AI into that. Everybody's sort of trying to think about how to do that. Speaking of tech, Qualcomm chipping in $2.4 billion to buy a company based here in the UK.
Yeah, so this is an interesting one. Qualcomm, the massive US chip company, buying up Alphawave IP. Now, this is a company, as you say, listed here in London. Now, the firm makes technology used for connectivity. They say that their connection solutions power next generation technology. So we're talking data centers and all the kind of stuff. It's pretty much in vogue recently. So Qualcomm coming in, they're going to pay around $2.4 billion in total. It's 183 pence per share. The stock is rising 23% this morning in reaction to this. However, bear in mind, this stock IPO'd at around 400 pence back in 2021. It was part of the big swathe of companies that listed in London in 2021 in that big boom. And it's another one that's disappointed, trades massively below where it IPO'd. And it follows on from the news that we've seen recently of companies either moving to the US from London or actually being taken out. It's continuing that. Another negative story for kind of London tech and London ECM, but the stock actually up sharply.
Talking M&A, Telefonica and Masorange have been on the phone. What's the topic?
Yes, Telefonica and Masorange have been discussing plans to buy Vodafone Spain. This is according to a Bloomberg exclusive. So Telefonica, of course, over in Madrid, and Masorange, which is part owned by Orange over in France. So the two companies looking to buy it from Zegona Communications, ticker ZEG on that one. Zegona actually only bought this unit around a year ago, and they paid €5 billion for it. So the one that we're seeing moving is Zegona. So that stock is up 6% this morning. Really the biggest beneficiary of this story. Telefonica was actually pretty much unchanged at the open of trading, still unchanged at the moment. I'll have to check if Madrid is actually open today, because there's a lot of holidays going on, and I'm wondering if that price is blank for a reason. But it's either closed or unchanged at the moment. But the important thing is Zegona, ZEG, in London is up 6% on the potential sale of that Spanish unit.
The Stock Movers Podcast from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.